Hey Cloud Gamers, today we're having a look at Shadow PC and maximum settings 2080 Super running the Call of Duty Cold War beta. On the left we have the Shadow Boost and on the right the maximum settings 2080. You can see straight off that we've got a slightly lower quality on the Shadow PC here to hold that 60 frames per second and above, but it's running on high across the board with maximum settings running ultra with some of the settings on high. What you may notice already is we're seeing a little bit of stutter on the maximum settings. You can't see it in the side by side, but there is a server latency icon that keeps popping up, and we'll go into that a bit more when we have some individual gameplay. But just looking at this game side by side, it is extremely well optimized and it is a really good looking game. I'm really impressed with the gameplay of the Cold War map so far. This fire team mode is really fun, where you got to try and get these dirty bombs, and it's the team who manages to set off the most of them in the amount of time. It's really fast gameplay, and I prefer this at the moment to Warzone, although when you do jump in, if you jump into the wrong area, it is pretty much insta-death. Sticking with your squad really makes a huge difference here, and it does make the game much more enjoyable, and it seems like a lot of people are more inclined to stick around with you rather than going off in their own direction, especially with those kill streak perks coming back from the kind of Modern Warfare days. Makes a massive difference in abilities, especially as you can then team up with your squad to make use of those perks. As we move over to the maximum settings 2080 Super Rig here then on its own, pretty much straight away you saw a bit of lag there that then got me killed. Now if you keep an eye on the right of the screen, you keep seeing these three squares or three rectangles that keep popping up. I'm not sure why it is, but with the maximum settings rig at the moment there seems to be an issue with the connection, regardless of playing on the Americas region or Europe region. You can see in the top left that the server latency is very good and that the packet loss is non-existent. However, this latency keeps just cropping up, and it seems to be at a fairly regular interval, which is a shame because it does look absolutely awesome and play well on the maximum settings rig. But that latency really does kind of ruin the gameplay for me. Again, you see it there, and especially when it starts happening in a firefight, it really does get frustrating. I am talking to maximum settings about this, and hopefully we can get it resolved fairly soon. Obviously this is early access, so there may be something else in play here that's causing this to happen. But we'll certainly keep you posted, and we'll be covering this game more as we get updates and obviously when it actually comes to release day as well. Do keep your eye out for some live streams of this. We'll be doing some gameplay streams. As I said, it's extremely fun to play, and I think it's probably one of the slightly better ones to watch as well. As we move over to the Shadow PC only version then, those high graphics, and it looks like the gamma is a little bit higher on Shadow PC. You can see those high graphics compared to the Ultra does drop that quality somewhat. But you can also see that it does manage to hold above 60 frames per second there, even in the firefight, so the gameplay is much smoother. Having that kill cam is always cool to see where you got killed from, because you can pretty much drop straight back in and take your revenge. Being able to spawn on your team as well, and any member of your team, is also great, unless they're under fire. And there we go, you can see a dirty bomb's been exploded. So this irradiates the area, and you do have to be careful not to stick around too long, as that does kill you as well. Keeping the Warzone style of parachuting in, cutting your shoot and re-cutting does work extremely well, but as I said, with the perks and everything else, there is a lot going on in these games, and Shadow PC is actually running this game extremely well on high settings. So it's definitely a great way to play this game if you do have Shadow Boost, and at the moment the Cold War beta is only 40 gig, so space is not such an issue with this game. However, I'm sure when it rolls in with the Warzone portion, you're probably looking at close to 200 gig overall. As we go back to the side by side then of the Shadow Boost and maximum settings to close out here, we can see that quality difference again, but it's not that detrimental on the Shadow PC side, and obviously in this type of game, frames over quality is definitely the preference. I think maximum settings could hold the frames with the quality if we didn't have this weird stutter on the server side. Either way, both are playing this game absolutely fantastic, and if you are going to jump in or you're on the fence about jumping in on the Cold War beta, I would highly recommend making that purchase, or the open beta is now in effect across PC, so you can always just hop in and have a quick look. Hope to see you on the battlefield. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest across all cloud gaming platforms, and I will see you next time.